Welcome to Divorce, Dating, and Empowered Living with your host, Rosalind Sedaka. Join Rosalind each week on a journey toward overcoming life's many challenges to achieve peace, empowerment, and positive transformation. It's time to relax, unwind, and transform your life with Rosalind Sedaka.
Hello, everyone. This is Rosalind Sedaka, and you're listening to WGSN-DB, the Going Solo Network, and our show is Divorce, Dating, and Empowered Living with Rosalind Sedaka. I'm so glad you're joining us today. As you know, I'm the founder of the Child-Centered Divorce Network, and every show we have different guests who are experts in their field, and today is no exception, and I'm very honored to introduce you to Dr. Susan Korb Bernstein. She's an experienced certified divorce coach and has earned her bachelor's, master's, and doctorate in education, leadership, and child development, and was a school teacher, administrator, and college professor before she became a divorce coach. Susan teaches other coaches in a mastermind course and also holds the roles of director of the Rockland, New York chapter of the National Association of Divorce Professionals and vested divorces in New York State as a divorce coach. So this is a very experienced gal, and I am so delighted that you have taken the time to join us today, Susan.
It's my pleasure, and I really thank you for having me.
I am excited because you have so much wisdom and expertise to share with us. I know that you specialize in talking about divorces with difficult partners, narcissists, and other people who are creating high conflict. And so let's focus a little bit of our attention in that direction. So my first question for you is, what should we think about in planning out as a pre-divorce before actually divorcing a partner who may be a narcissist?
And you actually said the key word there. When you're divorcing a narcissist, you need a plan. And there's several considerations to take into effect. Obviously, finance is one of them. Safety, children, the house, and self-care. And I can go into a little detail about those if you would like.
Sure.
Okay, well, related to safety, that's the number one question. If you or your child feel in danger, not to hesitate to call the police. If you are just worried, to definitely create a paper trail and document everything, record conversations if need be, and make sure you have an exit plan really thought out, and trust if they are threatening you, trust that that threat might actually occur. So safety is first. The next thing is finances. The second that the narcissist realizes that you want a divorce, they will start to move money around. So I say try to get as much done as you can. Gather that information, save money, record all your assets and debts, and try to get everything so you can disclose that information to an attorney or mediator. And, of course, divorce deals with finance and divorce deals with children. So if you have children in the picture, it's really important to set them up for success because often the narcissist will use them as pawns and try to manipulate them. So I always say to make sure that they have a therapist in place prior to you announcing the divorce, and really work with a therapist or a parenting coach or the teacher or guidance counselor to figure out what is age appropriate for them. As far as the place you are living, your house, that's really important. It's extremely hard if you file for divorce to live under the same roof between that day they know you're getting divorced and the day the divorce is signed, which could be weeks, months, and sometimes years. So I always say that they need a strategy, possibly to talk about a trial separation so that it's easier to have either you or the narcissist move out of the house, but making sure that if you do move out that they can't say you're abandoning the place, and making sure if you do move out and you take the children, they can't say that you are alienating the children, which gets into legal issues. And so always before you announce that you're filing for divorce to the narcissist, I recommend talking to an attorney, really talking about a plan of action, the safety, the money, and the children, how you're going to tell the narcissist, where, ideally in public, when, obviously not when the children are around, and what you're going to say if you want that trial separation or something, or to ease into it in their mind.
Wow. Susan, this is a very overwhelming situation for so many people who are caught in these circumstances, frightening, anxiety-producing, and especially if one is a parent, it adds a whole other level of concern for them. So you've addressed a lot of the physical, plain things that need to be handled for safety and protection, and where to go and getting legal counsel and all of that. I imagine you also have tips and strategies on surviving divorce, especially emotionally and psychologically, how to cope yourself. Am I right?
I do. And I do believe that when you educate yourself, knowledge is power, and you start to feel empowered. So the more information you can gather on creating a strategic plan, whether it's with a certified divorce coach or an attorney or a support group, but really thinking through it. Often narcissists will gaslight you, and you're in a fog, and it's hard to think critical during this time. So I encourage everyone to take advantage of any resources, any books, any free resources. There are a lot out there that they can have. And really be aware that there are lots of options. So often someone feels trapped and thinking there's only one option, and I always like to help my clients see that there's numerous options that can be taken. Talking to them about focusing forward, and whether it's baby steps or giant leaps and bounds, that makes a huge difference. Knowing that we cannot control the narcissist, but we can control our actions and our reactions to them, and making sure that during that time period that they are going through divorce, I always say spoil your children with love. They need extra love during that time. Have lots of self-care for yourself. There's a lot of free things you can do, reading a book, a bubble bath, a walk in nature, just talking to a friend, but making sure you are giving yourself self-care to sustain, because it doesn't happen overnight. And as far as the divorce contract, it is extremely important to put lots of details related to finances and payments and custody schedules, because when you're dealing with a narcissist, they look for loopholes in a contract. And if it's not a solid contract, you'll end up going back to court, spending more time, more money, and more headaches. So I really encourage people to get every detail possible that they can get into that contract so they don't have to go back. And I help people look at past successes they had in their life, whether it was personal or in their profession, to help build on that strength to know that they can get through this time in their life, and there is a light above.
Wow. So this is a very big decision for many people who are facing divorce with a narcissist, especially, again, when they have children. And I imagine from your experience you've found that many of these people have been contemplating this for a long time and waiting for the right time. Is there any advice on knowing when is the right time? Are there things to look for? Or do some people just spend years anticipating this and are too frightened to take the leap?
Both of those are correct. Certainly the right time is if you or your child's life is in danger, then you cannot wait. You must take action. As far as cutting toxic people out of your life, acknowledging that it doesn't mean that you don't love them or that you hate them. It just means that you love yourself and your children too much to be drained by that negativity and drama and all the types of abuse and roller coaster that they put you on, more so than a healthy relationship falling apart. When you're with a narcissist, it is a toxic relationship, and there's so many triggers that they expose you to, and so much trauma bond, it is extra hard to break away from that codependence. But it is possible, and, really helping them see that change can be a good thing and to trust their gut.
Yes, trust your gut. And if you're feeling endangered, if you're feeling that you are in fear of threatened for your life or your child's life or something like that, what should you do?
I believe that calling the police, filing a report, asking for a temporary restraining order will show the narcissist that they should not threaten you, that you take their threat seriously, and that they need to check their own behavior. If that means that you need to move out, every county in every state has shelters for women and resources for children. So being aware of the resources that are out there, the schools, the therapies, they all can help you find these free resources as well. And not thinking that danger will go away, taking it seriously.
Taking it seriously, for sure. So we've been listening to Dr. Susan Bernstein, who's a certified divorce coach, as well as expert in education, leadership, and child development. And we are talking about a very serious topic, divorcing a narcissist. You've been listening to WGSN-DB, the Going Solo Network. And we are going to take a short break, and we'll be right back.
Hello, I'm Cece Schatz, and I'd like to welcome you to Going Solo Network, #1 complete singles connection. We strive to connect singles in a positive and fun way. Together, singles will begin to make new and lasting friendships, learn more about themselves, and embrace our new today lifestyle of going solo. Being single doesn't mean you have to be alone, and you can live a full, fun life, bringing your vibration to a higher level of attraction. Going Solo Network is an interactive social support singles community with several platforms helping singles connect with other like-minded individuals. We cover things like relationship loss, divorce recovery, embracing being single, single parenting, restructuring relationships, relationship building, transition into dating, and dating itself, solo in business, and going solo travelers. Be sure to join our private and exclusive fun interactive websites designed for singles today who want to begin to embrace living and enjoying the space they're in. Together we will learn to open our hearts, our minds. We will begin to share and connect with others while exploring our personal life goals as we begin to make a place in our new life. We will start to move forward in going solo to actually living our best lives. Going solo doesn't mean you have to be alone. Today, together, let's begin changing your life. Today, join the singles at Going Solo Network and start to live your new life. I'll see you there on GoingSoloNetwork.com.
Hi, everyone. This is Rosalind Sadaka with Divorce, Dating, and Empowered Living on WGSN-DB, the Going Solo Network. And today we're talking to Dr. Susan Bernstein, certified divorce coach and expert on divorcing a narcissist. And we are talking about many of the factors to help make a decision and avoid mistakes. So, Susan, what are some of the biggest mistakes we need to avoid when contemplating or divorcing a narcissist?
That is a great question. And one of the mistakes is that people assume another relationship will be their savior. And knowing that we cannot always count that as a guarantee, so making sure that you take the time, once you're in a safe place, to take the time to work with the lawyers to get those details in the contract, because you cannot always go back and change things. And that leads to another mistake, which is being stubborn. Some people tell the attorney, I'm keeping the house, I'm having the child 100% of the time, I want the full pension. And when you are stubborn, often no negotiation can occur, and then the judge decides. So I always say that certainly you want to try to get, the law is in your favor, you want to try to get everything the law has said that you have. You should never give away any of your rights. There's women who say, I just want to walk away. I just want nothing. And then later they have no money for food or a place to live, and they sent away their rights. So not giving away your rights, but knowing that what those limits are, what the minimum is that you can get. So not throwing in the towel and saying, I'm just done. Also, financially being aware of tax implications. So often someone will say, our house is worth $300,000 and the pension is worth $300,000, so let's each take one. Well, when you look at the tax implications, they are not equivalent. So really making sure a financial person looks at the numbers and keeps in mind projections for the future, interest rates, and puts in safeguards for you that if you're not the moneymaker, that your spouse will have life insurance to cover it or disability insurance so that you are safeguarded for the future.
Wow. Those are every one of those really important points. As founder of the Child-Centered Divorce Network, obviously my focus is always on children in a divorce, and I wanted your insights about what happens if you're not feeling comfortable with your narcissist former spouse parenting or co-parenting the children or being alone with the children for days or weeks or overnights, and what rights do you have in that regard?
Very good question, and my answer to that is to start ASAP documenting those thoughts. For someone who files for divorce and then all of a sudden says, I don't feel comfortable or I'm worried, it's harder for the judge to believe what's going on. But if today you tell the teacher, the guidance counselor, the pediatrician, you get the children a therapist and you say, I'm having a therapist because I'm worried about the toxic dynamics in the family. So getting all of those things in place will really help your case when you do file for divorce. Certainly, as we know, narcissists tend to use children as pawns and manipulate them. So documenting that, recording those, taking pictures of any text or threats or anything, and really getting professionals involved as soon as possible, creating that paper trail so that it's hard for them to say that you're making this up just because of the divorce.
Excellent. That's really sound advice. You mentioned getting professionals involved. Tell us about the kind of work you do and why people reach out to someone like you.
So as a certified divorce coach, I help one individual pre, during, or post-divorce get through divorce smoother. I help them save time, money, and headaches by really coming up with an individual strategic plan, because every divorce is different. So even if their friend or neighbor went through divorce, theirs is different. And I am there for my clients day, night, and weekend to help them focus forward. I tell them I can save them tons of money by helping them think clearly and being prepared when they go into their lawyer. And I tell them that if they have a therapist, to keep a therapist, because a therapist helps heal their past. As a coach, I help them focus forward with a strategic plan. So all these professionals takes a team to make it smooth during a divorce.
Yes, I totally agree about that. While I have you, before we get too far along, I wanted to let you tell people, how can people find you?
I always give out my number, 551-444-2609. It's a free call for the first time, day, night, or weekend, so they can call me, 551-444-2609. Or my website, they can set up an appointment, is www.divorcecoachplus.com. And the plus is spelled out.
Excellent. Well, that's always good to know. And you work nationwide or around the world, correct?
Correct. I have clients throughout the whole United States and in 4 other countries as well. Yes.
So we've been obviously talking about some dark things, and we don't want to leave our listeners in a down place. So let's talk about how one can thrive after divorcing from a narcissist.
Absolutely. This is the good stuff. This is the stuff to look forward to. And when you are divorced from a narcissist, you still need to have a communication plan with them, especially if there is a child involved. So having a plan to know when to respond and how to respond, to not let them trigger you and to not let the situation escalate, I think is extremely important. Acknowledging the gratitude that you survived this and you are on to the next chapter, knowing that your children will be okay, knowing that you will probably be the one to help someone else during divorce is a great feeling, that you can be that expert to hold their hand from your experience, knowing that love is out there, there are good and men and women out there, and knowing that don't let that one person ruin your whole future partnership, knowing that healing is possible and staying classy, taking care of yourself. There's endless possibilities of what is out there, and just focusing forward on that.
Excellent. I just wanted to add that your children are watching and learning, because we are all, as parents, we are all role models. And so when your children see you thriving after a difficult challenge as being in a marriage with a narcissist, coming out the other side, learning how to handle conflict and doing it in a way in which you feel confident and proud of yourself, those are wonderful things for your children to see and watch and learn from. Is that correct?
It is absolutely true, and I know so many people out there have a great heart and want their children to thrive as well after divorce, and it is 100% possible, and the way that they handle it can really give them the advantage for the best possible outcome.
So why don't you give us a few of your best takeaway pointers to remember from this conversation, Susan?
Of course. One very important thing to remember is there are always more than one option. No one should ever feel stuck, is what I tell my clients. I help them see numerous paths to take and any obstacles in the way, how to overcome those. So that's one big takeaway. Another takeaway is that a narcissist, if you think you're dealing with a narcissist, they do not go away, so you need to safeguard yourself with documenting everything before, getting those details in the contract during, and trying to come up with a solid communication plan that you won't alter from after if children are involved. Another thing is regarding children, knowing that when you are doing something that you think is best for you, that the children will see and that they will truly benefit from that as well, and it will be okay. Those
are fabulous points, just fabulous. I'm so thrilled that we got to listen to your wisdom, and the way you've explained things is so clear and articulate for us, so I really thank you for this wonderful presentation, and I want you to give us your website once again so people can know where to find the expertise that you're offering.
Thank you. It is www.divorcecoachplus.com, or they can email me at Susan, SUSAN, at divorcecoachplus.com, and plus is spelled out, PLUS.
Thank you, Dr. Susan Bernstein. This has been a wonderful experience learning from you.
It's been my pleasure and I'm honored to be invited by you. So I thank you so much as well.
Oh, thank you. I want to thank everyone who's been with us today. Again, you've been listening to WGSN-DB, the Going Solo Network, and this is Rosalind Sadaka. And as you know, I'm founder of the Child-Centered Divorce Network. You can find my free ebook on divorce co-parenting strategies at childcentereddivorce.com, as well as several ebooks and e-courses and programs, and a new one on anger management for co-parents, which is an important topic that we address from time to time. Thank you for listening to Divorce, Dating, and Empowered Living, and we hope you'll join us again. Bye-bye for now.